back to Greedy Bastard Garage. My name is Mike. Today we are going to be changing the oil on our C5 Z06 Corvette. This is a daily driver for me, so this is what I run around and get all the parts in when I'm working on cars, sandrails, buggies, quads, whatever. Today we are going to be using some Mobil 1 high mileage 10W30. It's going to take roughly 6.5 quart. So we have 5 here, 6 here, and I got some left over in another canister from another time. We also need a oil filter. This is the M1 107A for the Corvette. We're going to need 2 tools today. We're going to need 3 tools. We're going to need a jack, some jack stands. We're going to need a number 15 wrench and a oil filter wrench. So as you might be able to tell, we've already got the car up on jack stands. We already have oil coming out of the car. So now we're going to catch you up on how we got to this point. All right, we're going to start off at the front of the car here. We're going to start off with our low profile racing jack. These really help to get underneath the front of these cars because they are low to the ground. So we're going to slide this under here. So we're going to jack our car up using this front crossbar right here. Once you get that on there, you can jack the front of the car up. You want to get it high enough to be able to put jack stands underneath the sides of the car behind the front wheels. We'll go there now. Alright, so here we have a jack stand and a hockey puck. You can get these over at any sports store. We got these at Big 5, I believe. If you set this on top of here, it's going to help protect your car and also allows your car to pivot. We'll get to the reason why you want to pivot here in a little bit. But here you can see our jack is in place. Right here behind the front tires, there is a spot underneath the puck here. You're going to see some holes right here. This is where the frame, the car sat on the conveyor belt when it went through manufacturing. So that's where you want to sit your jack stands. You can have one on this side, and you can see one on the other side there. Once you get those in, you're now stable. You can remove the jack from the front of the car. Now that we're under the car, you want to get your catch basin in place underneath the oil pan of the car. Right behind that front beam that you jacked the car up on, you'll find the back part of the beam and then the oil pan. Right there on the front is the screw, the bolt. That is where your 15-inch wrench comes in. You're going to loosen that up, pull that out of there. As soon as you start to tighten this, oil is going to start pouring out on your hands, and then it's going to shoot out into your catch basin. We've already done that, so we are ahead of the game right now. Once we've done this now, if you notice, this drain here is on the front side of the pan. We have the front of the car jacked up. What that means is there's still oil sitting at the back of the pan back there. We need to lift the back of the car up to get the oil to come to the front, to come out into our catch basin so we can get it all out of there. So now we need to go to the back of the car. All right, we're now here at the back of the car. I've got my jack underneath the same type of crossbar bar. It's a lower bar in there for the rear cradle that holds the transmission and the transaxle in place. We're going to jack this up as high as we can. As we jack this up, the car is going to pivot on those floor jacks we have behind the front tires. The back end will go up, the front end will come down, and we will get that oil to come out of the motor into our pan. You want to keep going up. Watch your jacks, keep an eye on your jacks, make sure nothing's slipping and moving. If you can see up there, we do have oil coming out of the drain now. Now you want to let the car sit like this for 10 minutes or so. You want to let all that oil drain out. So you want to come back to the engine bay of your car. Remove your oil cap so that you have good airflow, so you can relieve the pressure and all the oil will come out. I like to put something over that so nothing falls in there. Alright, I've checked the front. We have all our oil out we're going to get. It's not dripping anymore, so we need to lower the back end down so we can get more room in the front so we can crawl under there and put our our oil filter back on, or swap it out anyway. So we're going to slowly lower this down. Now we'll head back to the front of the car and change out our oil filter. All right, we got the back of the car down. We're going to grab our oil filter, M1107A, mobile one, and we're going to head underneath the car and swap out the oil filter. All right, here we are under the car. We're going to go back towards the back of the oil pan this time, near the exhaust pipe here, and you'll see the oil filter. You can't miss it. You can grab your filter wrench, put it on there. I've already loosened it up. I like to do this with a glove. When you start undoing this, oil will start coming out. You're going to get oil over your hand. If you recently drove your car into your garage to do this, the oil's going to be warm. So you don't want to burn your hand. You can see oil's already starting to drip. So you kind of want to start undoing this. Get it there, let it drip. Don't fight it. That's the oil that's in the line coming to and from the filter. Now remember, this filter is going to be full of oil as well. So when you get it off of here, you want to turn it upside down into your catch pan, and you're going to let everything sit there and drain out. Now we got to go up top and prep our new oil filter. All right, here we got our oil filter. We need to fill our oil filter up with oil, otherwise we will have a big bubble in our system. So we need to start out by getting one of our quarts, filling this baby up. Now it's going to take some time. It's not just fill the top and you're done. It's got to soak in. There's a lot of the filter in there is going to absorb the oil. So the first time you fill it up, it's actually going to sink down a little under halfway. So you have to keep filling this up. It's going to take quite a bit. It doesn't look like it's quite a bit, but it's going to take a good portion of this. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. You see how I'm tilting it from side to side. I'm trying to work out all the air pockets. Let the oil absorb into every corner. All right, looking pretty good. All right, one last thing. You want to have a good seal between this rubber O-ring and your engine. So you want to touch the oil and rub some right around this rubber seal. Coat it. That will ensure you a good seal up against your motor. All right, we are back under the car now. Got our oil filter here, full of oil. Careful not to spill it. Put that back on with the new one on. Grab our wrench. Tighten that down. I like to get it nice and snug. I'm not going to two-hand torque on it, but that's good. Don't forget, we need to put your drain plug back in. Your drain plug is magnetized. Sometimes On a newer motor, you might see some metal on the tip of your plug there. You want to clean that off first. And we're going to put that back in. Pick up our number 15 millimeter box wrench again. Don't over tighten these, you'll be in big trouble. Okay. Push our catch out. Grab our wrenches. I like to keep my stuff clean. So I'm going to grab me a towel and wipe all this stuff down while I'm under here. And hey, we don't get under the car that often, so look for any other things out of the ordinary. It looks pretty good. Let's go back up top and fill the oil up. Hey, back here at the front of the car. So we're going to lower the car back down now. We've got our jack already under the front of the car. We've jacked it up a little bit, so now we need to pull our jack stands. Let's get the other side here. And all right, now we need to lower it down. Now if you'll notice, I've got my big red jack under the front here. At the beginning of the video, I showed you my little racing jack. When the car is all settled down on its suspension when you drive it into the garage, it does sit much lower. So the racing jack, low profile, allows you to get underneath the car. So I put it underneath on that truss. I don't go right in the center, I go off to the side a little bit, and I jack the car up enough to get my big jack under there. Because my little racing jack can't quite get the car high enough to put those jack stands underneath. So I go to my big jack, jack it real high, put the jack stands underneath, so I'm going to need that again to pull it back down. Alright, so we're going to go here to our oil. Again, we're using 10W30 high mileage, because we do have some higher miles on this car now. This is for over 75,000 miles. I do suggest using a funnel, but I'm daring and like to make a mess. So I will try this with that one. I am going to grab some paper towels though, in case I make that mess. Now, like I said, it's going to take about 6.5 quarts. Once we put that one in, put this 5 quarts in, we'll have 6 quarts in. At that point, probably going to start the motor, turn it over, let the oil run through it, and then we'll go ahead and check our dipstick and top it off to where we need to be. So that's about it, guys. That's all there is to it. Don't really need to show you the rest. Thanks for checking in. Come back again. Great Bastard Garage.